Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks again for tuning in. This is James from Bunkertier, and today we are back at Bishopbriggs Golf Range in the Swing Studio, bringing you the #1 ball in golf, the brand new Pro V1 and Pro V1x for 2023. Now in 2021, we saw incredible advancements to the dimple pattern on both golf balls and improvements to the cover, casing and core. Now this 2023 model, we have seen a brand new high gradient core in Pro V1 and Pro V1x with some incredible advancements to go along with that as well. What we're going to do is we're going to put the 2021 model up against the 2023 model and just see how they compare. So Titleist are the #1 ball in golf, and they can back that up with all the stats from the 2022 season. 74% of players put their trust into either a Pro V1 or a Pro V1x ball. They also were victorious in all 4 majors, with Cam Smith, Justin Thomas, Scotty Scheffler and Matt Fitzpatrick all taking home the victory using a Pro V1 or Pro V1x golf ball. So with the new 2023 ball, Titleist have obviously made a big change to the core as well, which seems like quite a bold move considering the success they've had in 2022. But you've had players come out like Will Zalatoris and say, you know, they've seen improvements not only in a little bit of distance in the driver, but consistency, making that dispersion even tighter. So there's a new high gradient core design, which essentially is firmer on the outside and then progressively softer in the middle. What that's going to do is it's going to give you faster speeds, and it's also going to give you low long game spin as well. Now in the Pro V1x, you've got a new dual core dimension as well. Now that is 44% bigger in volume as well, which is a huge increase. So it was about an inch, and it's now 1.13. And what that's going to do is increase the stability through the air, but also drive down your long game spin off the tee and with the longer irons as well. So we've got the speed amplifying high flex casing layer, which is quite a mouthful to say. And essentially that's just a casing that sits around the core. And what you'll find when it combines with the urethane cover, it just gives you great spin and control around the greens as well. Now going on to the next part, which is the cast thermoset urethane cover. Essentially, that is basically just a process that they go through to make sure that the covers they produce are all consistent and the same, going through the same step-by-step process. This next bit's a bit of a mouthful. So, spherically tiled tetrahedral dimple designs. There we go, we got there. Which is the 388 dimple design of the Pro V1, and then you've got the 348 dimple design of the Pro V1x. And all that's going to do is optimize the aerodynamics so it flies further. But what you're also going to find is with the dimple design, the 348 dimple design of the Pro V1x, that's going to fly slightly higher than the Pro V1 as well. So Titleist always worked from green to tee. Now today, obviously in Scotland at this time of year, the weather is horrendous. So we're obviously inside. So we're not going to be able to do any greenside testing or putting with the ball. That is going to come later on in part 2. But today we are in the studio at Bishopbriggs Golf Range with the GCQuad, and we're going to get all the ball data we can with the Pro V1 and Pro V1x in the longer irons and the driver as well. We're going to do the classic bite test. Let's see, well firstly, yep, okay, it's a golf ball, but it's also firmer than, yes, noticeably firmer than the Pro V1. Now the next thing you're going to do is probably see how it feels. So we'll drop it on the wedge and just see the difference in sound. And automatically I can feel straight away the softness of the Pro V1 compared to the firmness of the Pro V1x. So to pass the firmness test, Pro V1x is firmer, Pro V1 is softer. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump into the GCQuad, hit some shots, and put them side by side, obviously, with 2021 Pro V1 and Pro V1x as well. Okay, so with the 4-iron, this is where I'm starting to see some noticeable differences. Your 2021 Pro V1, the spin on this one was a little bit lower, but the ball speed is less compared to the new 2023 model. Now, if we also go down with work, the deviation offline is a lot less. Again, more consistency. Now, the total distance is relatively similar. There's not much in it, but the dispersion and consistency with the new 2023 model is really, really impressive. The 2021 Pro V1, the ball speed, I mean, there's not too much in it, but what I did start to notice was a difference in the spin. Now, I hit this one really clean and I hit this one superbly as well. But what you start to see is dispersion is tighter with the 2023 model, but not only that, is the distance really starts to jump as well. So really, really impressive. Okay, so we've hit driver, and this is what we've found. So with the 2023 Pro V1, there was a few miles an hour separating the two balls. The newer model is lower in spin compared to the 2021 model, which was great, and also the dispersion was a lot tighter as well, and that then obviously carried into overall distance being increased too, which was fantastic to see. The Pro V1x, the newer model, was 197. So it was faster. Not only that, the older model obviously spun a lot more. Now this is definitely probably an error on the GCQuad. It definitely wasn't that low spinning, but the ball speed picked up was definitely quicker. So this number here could be a bit skew with. However, it's not going to be too far away if you kind of look at the top number in terms of spin, ball speed. It's not going to be that far away. So the spin might just be a little bit off there. However, noticeable gains in both balls, absolutely fantastic. The change in the core has definitely made a difference, which is really, really great to see. And I think this 2023 model is going to be absolutely superb. Okay, so the big question, what do I think about the 2023 Pro V1 and Pro V1x? Well, I'll be honest, I was a little bit skeptical when I heard they were changing the cores of both of these golf balls, especially with the success they've had in 2022. But what I will say is they are absolutely fantastic and they have outdone the 2021 ball. The new firmer cover, as it gradually gets softer, is superb. And what you definitely do see on the numbers is the lower spin, especially in those longer irons into the driver. It is fantastic, and you will definitely see more consistency in your dispersion, as well as a slight increase in distance and ball speed as well. What they've done obviously with the Pro V1x is they've made that core slightly larger, but you really do see great consistency with the irons, especially into the driver as well. Absolutely fantastic, especially with that firmer cover. You really do feel a great feel and sound off the club. But the big question is, which one is for you? The Pro V1, this is going to be perfect for someone who's looking for that softer feel, but looking for a low spin and lower trajectory, a slightly lower trajectory. And your Pro V1x is going to be a firmer feel. It is going to be lower spinning in the long game, but it will have just a slightly higher launch as well. So there'll be a little bit more spin on this one in comparison, but they're both absolutely fantastic. Really hard to choose from. The Titleist have done a fantastic job, and it is quite clear why they are the #1 ball in golf. So I just want to say a big thank you to everyone once again for tuning in, and a big thank you to Bishopbriggs Golf Range for letting us take over their swing studio. And if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.